Okay, everybody, here we go. It is me, Gregory Mannarino. It is Monday, November 21st, 2022. Right off the bat, so many of you got into the whole drag racing thing with me over the weekend here. If you don't subscribe to my newsletter, let me just tell you how it worked out. I actually broke out of my time bracket, meaning I ran faster than I thought I would run in. Because I broke out, even though I won that last race, I lost now. Let me just show you something real quick. I think you'll get a kick out of this. This actually is that last run where I broke out. Let me see if I can get you to see this here. Let's see what I can do here with you. Gone with the freaking wind here. And at 11:02. Yeah, so anyway, like I said, I dialed in at 11:06. I ran 11:02, so even though I won, as you can see, I ended up losing, but I'll call it 11:02 a win. It's a pretty good run. All right, look, so with that said, people, we got some stuff to talk about that I really do believe you're going to get, well, some of it's almost laughable from our friend Jim Cramer. Jim Cramer, dude, very disappointing with what you said today, and we're going to cover that in a moment. But let's start off with this here. We got two warnings from two Wall Street super banks. Number one is Goldman Sachs. All right, we've been getting a lot of warnings from these super banks here. So Goldman Sachs is warning yet again, people. Okay, this is almost a repeated occurrence here on the economy and inflation, saying two things. The economy is going to continue to worsen as inflation continues to remain elevated. Can I please get a duh, and maybe even another freaking duh? I mean, what do they think? That we don't know this already? Now, it gets worse here. So this is JP Morgan. So JP Morgan is saying, and this is spooking the market this morning, this statement from JP Morgan. They are predicting, JP Morgan is predicting millions of people to lose their jobs by mid-2024 and a severe recession. Why don't they just say depression? Okay? I don't think you could discern between, we're already in a depression. That's a fact. But the propaganda ministry must convince you that the opposite is going on here. I mean, every single piece of economic information is just abysmal, and it continues to get even worse here. So again, JP Morgan, millions of people are going to lose their jobs by 2024 in a severe recession. Now, Jim Cramer, this is Jim Cramer talking about inflation in the Federal Reserve. Are you ready? The Fed may already have won. Really, Jim? Do you honestly believe that? Because you see, Jim Cramer, there's not even the slightest sign whatsoever, Jim Cramer, that inflation is peaking, topping out, or anything else. If the last two inflation reports, Jim Cramer, CPI and PPI, are telling us anything, is that inflation continues to rise, Jim Cramer, okay? And it has nowhere to go but higher, according to the Federal Reserve's favorite indicator, Jim Cramer. You know what I'm talking about here. So stop the bullshit, Jim Cramer, okay? I don't know what the hell you're doing out here. It's not going to stop. The economy is going to continue to collapse on a worldwide scale, and the Federal Reserve is going to sell the bullshit that they've been selling us since time in freaking memorial, that raising rates here is going to actually finally going to make a difference. It's not going to work. You know this, Jim Cramer. You know it. But meanwhile, you're sitting here on CNBC and trying to tell people that the Fed may have won. Maybe you mean they may have won in the fact that they are crushing the economy, destroying the financial system, and taking an entire class of people with it. Maybe that's what you're referring to, sir. I don't know, man. I tell you, sometimes it just makes me want to vomit all over the place. And here's another piece of information that I think is Jim Cramer might be ignoring here, is existing home sales continue to free fall. People, you can't make this stuff up. Meanwhile, consumer debt continues to rise with no end in sight. Savings rate in the negative. I mean, you can't freaking make this stuff up. And then you got people like Jim coming out saying the Fed may have won their inflation fight. Are you kidding me? Really? Honestly? There's not a single person, not one, who follows this blog. And there's a lot, okay, that believes that's true, Jim Cramer. And I believe most of the people here are going to call you a clown. And you know what? I'm calling you a clown too. All right, look, people, let us move forward here. Right now, because of this statement from JP Morgan, I mean, this is pretty big here. When you got a Wall Street superbank admitting that we're going to have a severe recession and millions of people are going to lose their jobs. So what's happening? Stock futures are lower across the board. Nothing dramatic, but lower nonetheless. Okay, let's just forget about the stock market. Let's go look over at its drivers for a moment here. The 10-year yield higher. Dollar, knee-jerk higher. So there's the fear trade. You also got cryptocurrencies under pressure, gold and silver under pressure. I didn't even look over at crude oil this morning. Whatever, I'll cover that later. But it's a clear fear trade this morning. When you have information like this, I mean, not one, but two Wall Street superbanks basically saying the same thing. But this statement from Goldman Sachs is almost laughable, honestly. Warning yet again on the economy and inflation. The economy's not doing so well. Maybe President Biden's dying. Maybe, he's going to come out here to tell you how great everything is and that the inflation is at zero, but not according to a Wall Street superbank, because according to them, the economy, frankly, sucks, and inflation is still going to remain high. Look. Honestly, and this JP Morgan issue definitely spooking the market. Let me explain this to you a little more clearly in case you didn't see yesterday's video. All that matters right now, people, one thing and one thing only, is if central banks are going to be successful or not in tricking the market into believing that the debt market is more liquid than it is. It's illiquid already. We already know that. You and I have covered this for many months here. This yo-yo effect in the debt market. Bonds selling off, then getting bought, then selling off and getting bought. The bond yields fluctuating all over the place here. The US dollar higher, lower. This is going to drive the market bar none. Nothing else matters here. Even a severe recession, as JP Morgan is saying here, won't matter if, in fact, the central banks can fake liquidity by either their repo program, passing vast trillions of dollars between institutions overnight here by buying more debt. If they manage to pull that off, the illusion, okay, that the debt market is stable, and if they manage to, again, you know this already, weaken the US dollar on a relative strength basis, market's going up. It doesn't, nothing else, the whole world could be in a severe depression and the stock market's still going to go higher. That's just the way it's going to play out here. And a couple of other things you can expect to happen: expanding wars, false flag events, distractions, deceptions, look here, don't look over there. You know the story. This is the most sick, twisted, vile, vomitous, despicable, whatever word you want to come up with, environment in the history of mankind. And the lies and the tales are going to keep getting taller and taller and taller. But the main narrative that you're going to hear, and we started hearing this recently, is inflation is moderating. You remember that Lael brain turd, whatever we decided to name her? I have no idea, whatever that thing is over there. It's moderating. It's moderating. You know it is, because I'm telling you, whatever they say is a lie. And you know that too. Can't make any of this stuff up. It's impossible to do. But look, you know that. And that's just our strength. So look, what are we going to do about it? Look, we could sit here and bitch all day long. We're going to not ever deviate from what we're doing. Holding hard assets, betting against the debt. Understand that at one point, commodities are going to skyrocket as risk on becomes risk off. Risk on meaning cash going into the stock market. Do you realize we're barely in a bear market territory with regard to the S&P 500 in the face of everything else that's going on right now? But you can expect this whole thing to get much worse. Don't take my word for it. Listen to Goldman Sachs now. Listen to JP Morgan. But according to Jim Cramer, oh, the Fed's already won. Yeah, they won all right. They won all right, Mr. Cramer. Whatever, man. I can't handle this anymore. All right, look, people. I am out of here. I hope you enjoyed the drag racing video. I had such a blast over the weekend. And I got to connect with one of my friends from the old days, Jimmy LaRocca. Big shout out to you, buddy. You made my day yesterday, is the truth. All right, look, I'm kind of out of here right now. I will see all of you at the end of the day. We'll sum up the freak show. And I got to calm down. You know, sometimes I set myself off, like my heart's like pounding. I feel my blood pressure going to the freaking moon. I'm telling you, one day I'm going to vapor lock right freaking here. All right, look, I'll see you later. Please comment. Please share the video. Love you a lot.